Up until now, we've exposed the traps you can see. The debt machine, the rewards hoax, the prestige illusion, the fine print conspiracy, the systemic collapse. But the darkest layer is invisible. It doesn't just target your money. It targets your mind. This is the layer of psychological manipulation, where corporations use artificial intelligence, neuroscience, and surveillance algorithms to enslave not just your wallet, but your very thoughts. Every credit card swipe, every online purchase, every subscription you forget to cancel becomes data. That data doesn't vanish. It is harvested, sold, and fed into systems that know you better than you know yourself. Welcome to the surveillance economy, where your private life is no longer yours. Corporations don't just see what you buy, they predict what you will buy. They don't just track your spending, they engineer your desire to spend. It begins with addiction by design. Banks and credit card companies understand neuroscience. They understand dopamine. Every time you earn a reward, your brain lights up like a slot machine. That tiny surge of pleasure is no accident. It's engineered. Algorithms analyze your habits and feed you offers at the exact moment you're most likely to give in. You believe you're making a choice. In reality, your brain is being hacked. The trap isn't just financial slavery, it's psychological slavery. Look at the technology. AI systems track how often you check your balance, how long you hesitate before clicking buy, even how many times you search for a product before pulling the trigger. They test, refine, and deploy manipulation tactics tailored to your personality. Are you impulsive? They'll flood you with limited-time offers. Are you cautious? They'll tempt you with risk-free trials. Do you crave status? They'll dangle prestige cards and luxury illusions until you break. This is algorithmic warfare, and the battlefield is your mind. The dark web of financial data traps only amplifies the danger. Your information is bought and sold across shadowy networks, where corporations and third parties stitch together complete psychological profiles. They know your fears, your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities. They know when you're most stressed, when you're most desperate, when you're most likely to swipe your way into oblivion, and they weaponize that knowledge against you. Consider this. A family drowning in medical debt receives a targeted ad for a healthcare rewards card, promising relief. A young worker crushed by rent hikes is offered a cashback housing perk card, engineered to deepen their debt. A retiree, anxious about survival, is seduced by prestige illusions and exclusive access perks. None of these offers are random. They are precision strikes, delivered by AI manipulation designed to turn crisis into profit. This is more than marketing. It is mind control, a surveillance economy that doesn't just respond to your actions, but anticipates them, nudges them, and locks you into patterns of engineered addiction. And it works because you don't feel the chains. You think you're choosing, but your choices were designed long before you made them. The consequences are catastrophic. People don't just lose money, they lose autonomy, they lose freedom. They become predictable consumers in a rigged system where survival is always one click away from collapse. And while you struggle to break free, the algorithms grow smarter, hungrier, more precise. Every swipe is another lesson. Every purchase is another test. Every late payment is another weakness identified, another weapon loaded. Banks want you addicted. Billionaires want you enslaved. And AI is the perfect enforcer. This isn't science fiction. It's happening now, at scale, across every financial platform you touch. The system no longer needs to persuade you. It simply programs you. So ask yourself, are you really in control of your spending? Or are you a puppet in a machine, your strings pulled by code, your desires engineered by corporations that profit from your collapse? The truth is shocking. The credit card trap doesn't just capture your wealth, it captures your mind. And until you see through the illusion, you'll keep swiping, keep spending, keep feeding a system designed to enslave you forever. But there's one last truth that could save you. They call them rewards, cashback, airline miles, loyalty points, elite perks. The shiny bait dangled in front of you, designed to make credit cards look like free money. But here's the forbidden truth. Rewards are not gifts. They are traps, engineered scams designed to pull you deeper into spending, debt, and collapse. Every so-called benefit is a carefully calculated cost, hidden in plain sight, ensuring that you spend more than you save and that the bank always wins. Think about this psychology. A promise of free travel, exclusive upgrades, or cash back on every purchase flips a switch in your brain. Suddenly, spending feels like earning. That is the illusion. Every time you swipe your credit card, you believe you're gaining wealth. But in reality, you are bleeding it away. Death by 1,000 hidden charges. The bank knows exactly how to manipulate you. They have armies of behavioral scientists, algorithms, and marketing experts engineering your financial addiction. Here's what the data reveals. The average household with a rewards credit card spends 12 to 18% more per month than those without one. Why? Because the lure of points and perks tricks you into buying things you don't need, upgrading when you shouldn't, and chasing bonuses that cost far more than they return. That so-called free airline ticket? You already paid for it 3 times over in inflated interest, annual fees, and hidden costs buried in the fine print. Now let me tell you a story. One that banks would prefer you never hear. A young professional, buried in student debt but eager to build wealth, signs up for a premium rewards credit card. The perks sound irresistible. Double miles on travel, cash back on dining, priority status at airports. At first it feels empowering, but soon he's dining out more often to earn points, upgrading flights to chase elite status, and spending beyond his budget because he believes he's building value. Within 3 years, he's maxed out 3 cards, paying interest rates of over 20%, and drowning in debt. His so-called free perks triggered a financial collapse. The perks didn't build his wealth. They quietly destroyed it. Banks know this pattern. They don't hide from it. They design for it. Loyalty programs are engineered not to reward you, but to enslave you. They turn ordinary spending into compulsive spending. They disguise financial slavery as financial freedom. And while you're distracted by shiny perks, they're extracting billions in profit from interest, late fees, and annual charges. Look deeper into the contracts, and you'll find the shocking truth. Rewards points can expire. Cashback percentages shrink after promotional periods. Airline miles are devalued without notice, forcing you to spend even more to achieve the same benefit. Meanwhile, banks continue to collect their guaranteed profits. They win no matter how the game plays out. And here's the most sinister part. Rewards are not just about money. They're about control. Corporations track every purchase you make, building psychological profiles that predict your spending triggers. Algorithms monitor your loyalty activity, feeding you tailored offers to push you deeper into the cycle. It's surveillance disguised as generosity. The dark web of financial data ensures that your private spending habits are sold, shared, and exploited, all under the banner of perks. So ask yourself, who really benefits from rewards? Is it you, with a free coffee or a discounted flight? Or is it the billion-dollar banks and credit card corporations, raking in profits while millions of families fall into debt traps? The numbers don't lie. In 2023 alone, Credit card companies generated over $130 billion in interest and fees, much of it fueled by overspending linked to rewards programs. That is not generosity. That is financial predation. You see, the hoax is bigger than a free perk. It's a system designed to exploit your psychology, drain your money, and keep you loyal to the very corporations profiting from your collapse. And the cruel irony is this: the more you chase rewards, the deeper you sink into financial slavery. This isn't a perk. It's a poison. And if you don't recognize it now, it could quietly destroy your wealth. There's a reason some credit cards arrive in sleek black envelopes, embossed with gold lettering, weighing heavy in your hand like a trophy. They call them prestige cards, elite access cards, or exclusive membership experiences. But peel back the glossy design, and you'll see the forbidden truth. They are not symbols of wealth. They are symbols of engineered addiction. Banks have learned how to weaponize status, selling the illusion of luxury to keep the middle class enslaved. Think about it. A piece of metal with your name on it suddenly makes you feel powerful, important, part of an elite club. They tell you it's by invitation only, but the only real requirement is your willingness to pay absurd annual fees and bury yourself in the survival crisis of endless spending. That weight in your pocket isn't prestige, it's a chain. The trap is psychological. Prestige cards don't just encourage you to spend, they compel you to. With promises of exclusive lounges, priority upgrades, and white glove services, they engineer your behavior. You start buying luxury items you can't afford because the card convinces you that you've earned them. You chase experiences to justify the annual fee, not realizing the true cost is hidden in interest, penalties, and the erosion of your financial freedom. And here's the shocking reality. Most of these so-called elite perks are illusions. Airport lounges, overcrowded, stripped-down waiting rooms where you've already prepaid for your luxury with exorbitant fees. Concierge services, outsourced. Call centers designed to upsell you more travel, more products, more insurance. Exclusive events, marketing traps engineered to keep you loyal to the bank that profits from your debt. It's not luxury. It's entrapment disguised as privilege. This is wealth engineering at its darkest. Billionaires manipulate the middle class by selling vanity as value. They don't need these cards. They own the corporations that issue them. But they know the hunger for status runs deep. They know that when survival feels uncertain, people will grasp for symbols of control. A heavy card, a luxury logo, a false badge of power becomes the narcotic, and once hooked, you'll do anything to maintain the illusion. Look at the numbers. Prestige cards can charge annual fees upwards of $500, $1,000, even $5,000. Multiply that by millions of cardholders, and the profits are staggering. And that's before the banks pile on hidden fees, interest charges, and penalties. You are literally paying them to enslave you. You are financing your own illusion. The irony is brutal. True wealth doesn't need a shiny card to prove itself. But the system doesn't want you to know that. Instead, they engineer addiction to prestige, locking you in the endless cycle of appearances. You end up working longer hours, taking on more debt, and sacrificing your future just to maintain the image of luxury that was never real. And this illusion has deeper consequences. When financial collapse strikes, when healthcare bills rise, when inflation erodes your survival budget, when the economy buckles under hidden costs, that elite card will not save you. It will accelerate your downfall. Because the more prestige you chase, the more leverage the banks hold over you. They profit from your vanity. They profit from your desperation. And they profit most when you finally collapse under the weight of the illusion. So ask yourself, what does your prestige card really buy you? Status? Power? Or is it just another engineered trap? A luxury illusion designed to enslave your wealth while billionaires tighten their grip on your survival? And when you think prestige buys freedom, you'll discover it buys something far darker. The kind of contract you can never escape. If the rewards hoax was the bait, and the prestige illusion was the hook, then the fine print is the knife slipped between your ribs when you're not looking. The contracts you sign, the agreements you click, the paperwork you never read, they are designed with one purpose: to bleed you dry while convincing you that you consented to it. This is the fine print conspiracy, the most silent but devastating trap of all. Every credit card contract, every healthcare insurance policy, every loan agreement is packed with clauses written in legal jargon so dense that even attorneys struggle to decipher them. And that's the point. Banks and insurance corporations don't want you to understand your rights. They want you to unknowingly sign them away. Hidden costs, buried fees, and loopholes engineered by billion-dollar corporations are not accidents. They are weapons, and you are the target. Take insurance, for example. Families across the country sign healthcare contracts believing they're protected. But when crisis hits, a sudden surgery, a chronic illness, a child in urgent danger, the fine print reveals the shocking truth. Coverage denied due to pre-existing conditions. Bills inflated by out-of-network clauses buried 5 pages deep. Hidden fees labeled as administrative costs. Legal loopholes that allow insurers to pocket billions while patients drown in medical debt. There are countless stories of families ruined by these traps. A father in debt for life because his wife's cancer treatment wasn't covered. A mother forced into bankruptcy because her child's surgery triggered hidden exclusions in the policy. Elderly couples choosing between food and medication after their premiums skyrocketed thanks to clauses buried in microscopic font. These aren't tragedies caused by chance. They're outcomes engineered by design. Credit card fine print is no different. Miss a payment by 1 day, and a clause you never notice spikes your interest rate from 12% to 29%. Exceed your credit limit by a single dollar, and you're hit with penalties hidden under adjustment fees. Transfer a balance under a 0% introductory rate, only to discover in the fine print that one late payment voids the promotion and backdates thousands in interest. The contract you signed becomes the weapon used against you. Banks and insurance giants operate in collusion. They lobby lawmakers to keep the language vague, the loopholes open, and the system rigged. They pay armies of attorneys to ensure contracts are legally airtight while morally bankrupt. They know most people won't read the fine print. They know even fewer will understand it. And they profit massively from that ignorance. In 2022 alone, Americans paid over $120 billion in hidden credit card fees and penalties, most of them triggered by clauses buried in contracts. Meanwhile, healthcare insurers raked in record profits while millions declared bankruptcy over medical bills they thought were covered. This isn't capitalism. This is cartel behavior, financial predators cloaked in the legitimacy of legal paperwork. And let's not forget the technology fueling it all. Algorithms scan your payment history, your healthcare data, your credit reports. They predict when you're most vulnerable, when you're likely to miss a payment, when you're at risk of a health crisis. Then the system strikes, activating clauses you didn't even know existed. It's financial surveillance weaponized through legal trickery. The digital paper trail becomes the noose around your neck. The fine print conspiracy works because it hides in the shadows. It convinces you that you're at fault for not reading, for not understanding. But the truth is, No ordinary person could ever fight this system alone. It was engineered to be impenetrable, and every signature, every click, every "I agree" is another step deeper into the trap. So next time you see a contract promising protection or a credit card offering security, remember this: protection is the illusion, profit is the goal. And while you're left bankrupt, uninsured, or trapped in endless payments, the corporations will smile and tell you that you agreed to it all. But compared to what comes next, these legal tricks look almost innocent. Because the final trap isn't in the contract, it's in the system itself. You've seen the debt machine, you've witnessed the rewards hoax, you've uncovered the prestige illusion, and the fine print conspiracy. But all of those were just parts of a larger design, pieces of a puzzle that reveal something far more terrifying. The credit card trap is not just about hidden fees or loyalty scams. It is the foundation of a system engineered to keep you in lifetime debt, to collapse your health care, and to make survival itself a product you can no longer afford. This is the systemic trap, and it may already own your life. Let's strip away the marketing, the glossy ads, the promises of freedom. What remains is an economy that thrives only when you suffer. Every time you swipe a credit card, you're not just making a purchase. You're feeding a system designed to convert human need into corporate profit. Food, shelter, healthcare, education, basic survival costs that should be protected, are inflated and financialized until they're no longer rights but luxuries. You don't simply live in an economy, you live in a survival crisis engineered by debt. Consider healthcare. For decades, insurers, banks, and pharmaceutical giants have colluded to tie survival directly to credit. If you need urgent surgery but can't pay up front, your only option is debt. If you need life-saving medication but insurance denies coverage, you're forced to swipe your credit card, plunging deeper into financial slavery just to stay alive. This isn't just a healthcare collapse. It's the monetization of mortality. Your health becomes collateral. Your life expectancy becomes a balance sheet item. And it goes deeper. Rent, once the simple exchange of shelter for payment, has now been absorbed into the credit economy. Landlords screen tenants with credit scores engineered by banks, to reward debt usage, not responsibility. Fail to play the credit game and you lose access to housing. Inflation only sharpens the blade. As costs of living rise, wages stagnate, and debt fills the gap, ensuring the middle class never escapes the treadmill. The poor collapse entirely, while billionaires build empires on the backs of survival loans and high-interest desperation. This isn't accidental. This is wealth engineering at the societal level. Debt is the lever that shifts money upward, draining the many to enrich the few. Politicians claim to fight for the people, but their campaigns are bankrolled by the very corporations that profit from engineered poverty. Every bailout, every tax loophole, every deregulation tilts the game further against you. And when the system buckles, as it always does, ordinary people are left in ruins while the elites consolidate even more power. The numbers are staggering. Household debt in America has surpassed $17 trillion, with credit cards accounting for over $1 trillion of that total. At the same time, medical debt has become the leading cause of personal bankruptcy, pushing millions into financial collapse. This is not a coincidence. It is evidence of design. The system isn't broken. It's functioning exactly as intended, to create financial slavery on a mass scale. The real horror is that the cycle never ends. Debt begets more debt. Interest compounds endlessly. Inflation forces you to borrow more, and every dollar you pay back is siphoned upward, enriching banks, insurers, and billionaires who built this economy to ensure your permanent dependence. It's not just your wallet at stake, it's your survival. And while you're fighting to keep your head above water, the system prepares the next wave of crisis. Artificial scarcity drives up housing prices. Healthcare premiums skyrocket as insurers exploit legal loopholes. Food costs surge due to supply chain manipulation. Every crisis becomes another opportunity to tighten the noose of engineered poverty. The trap isn't just financial, it's existential. It ensures that no matter how hard you work, your survival is always at risk, always leveraged, always one swipe away from collapse. Technology only accelerates this collapse. Algorithms monitor your spending, predict your breaking point, and push offers designed to maximize your debt load. Financial surveillance ensures you never escape unnoticed. And as AI systems take control of economic decisions, they aren't programmed to save you. They're programmed to optimize profit, even if it means pushing millions into bankruptcy. The machine doesn't care about your family, your future, or your freedom. It cares only about feeding itself. So ask yourself, why do we live in a world where survival has a price tag? Why does every crisis, healthcare, housing, inflation, somehow end with banks richer, insurers more powerful, and ordinary people poorer? It's because the economy you trust was engineered not for your benefit, but for your exploitation. This is the ultimate trap, a systemic collapse that ensures lifetime debt, collapsing healthcare, and engineered poverty. And it's not coming. It's here. Every bill you can't pay, every rent increase you can't fight, every medical charge that cripples your family. These are not accidents. They are the visible scars of a system designed to enslave you from birth to death. You can't swipe your way out of this one. You can't prestige card your way to freedom, because this isn't just a financial trap. It's a survival trap. And unless you wake up to the forbidden truth, you will remain a prisoner in an economy that profits from your collapse. But what's coming next is even darker. Up until now, we've exposed the traps you can see, the debt machine, the rewards, hoax, the prestige illusion, the fine print conspiracy, the systemic collapse. But the darkest layer is invisible. It doesn't just target your money, it targets your mind. This is the layer of psychological manipulation, where corporations use artificial intelligence, neuroscience, and surveillance algorithms to enslave not just your wallet, but your very thoughts. Every credit card swipe, every online purchase, every subscription you forget to cancel becomes data. That data doesn't vanish. It is harvested, sold, and fed into systems that know you better than you know yourself. Welcome to the surveillance economy, where your private life is no longer yours. Corporations don't just see what you buy, they predict what you will buy. They don't just track your spending, they engineer your desire to spend. It begins with addiction by design. Banks and credit card companies understand neuroscience. They understand dopamine. Every time you earn a reward, your brain lights up like a slot machine. That tiny surge of pleasure is no accident. It's engineered. Algorithms analyze your habits and feed you offers at the exact moment you're most likely to give in. You believe you're making a choice. In reality, your brain is being hacked. The trap isn't just financial slavery, it's psychological slavery. Look at the technology. AI systems track how often you check your balance, how long you hesitate before clicking buy, even how many times you search for a product before pulling the trigger. They test, refine, and deploy manipulation tactics tailored to your personality. Are you impulsive? They'll flood you with limited-time offers. Are you cautious? They'll tempt you with risk-free trials. Do you crave status? They'll Dangle prestige cards and luxury illusions until you break. This is algorithmic warfare, and the battlefield is your mind. The dark web of financial data traps only amplifies the danger. Your information is bought and sold across shadowy networks, where corporations and third parties stitch together complete psychological profiles. They know your fears, your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities. They know when you're most stressed, when you're most desperate, when you're most likely to swipe your way into oblivion. And they weaponize that knowledge against you. Consider this. A family drowning in medical debt receives a targeted ad for a healthcare rewards card, promising relief. A young worker crushed by rent hikes is offered a cashback housing perk card, engineered to deepen their debt. A retiree, anxious about survival, is seduced by prestige illusions and exclusive access perks. None of these offers are random. They are precision strikes, delivered by AI manipulation designed to turn crisis into profit. This is more than marketing. It is mind control, a surveillance economy that doesn't just respond to your actions, but anticipates them, nudges them, and locks you into patterns of engineered addiction. And it works because you don't feel the chains. You think you're choosing, but your choices were designed long before you made them. The consequences are catastrophic. People don't just lose money. They lose autonomy. They lose freedom. They become predictable consumers in a rigged system where survival is always one click away from collapse. And while you struggle to break free, the algorithms grow smarter, hungrier, more precise. Every swipe is another lesson. Every purchase is another test. Every late payment is another weakness identified, another weapon loaded. Banks want you addicted. Billionaires want you enslaved. And AI is the perfect enforcer. This isn't science fiction. It's happening now, at scale, across every financial platform you touch. The system no longer needs to persuade you, it simply programs you. So ask yourself, are you really in control of your spending? Or are you a puppet in a machine? Your strings pulled by code, your desires engineered by corporations that profit from your collapse. The truth is shocking. The credit card trap doesn't just capture your wealth, it captures your mind. And until you see through the illusion, you'll keep swiping, keep spending, keep feeding a system designed to enslave you forever. And the final layer of this engineered collapse doesn't just touch your wallet. It touches your very survival. You've seen the hidden fees. You've seen the rewards hoax, the prestige illusion, the fine print conspiracy, and even the systemic collapse. But all of that is still surface level. The deepest trap isn't in your wallet. It's in your mind. Because the most dangerous weapon corporations have isn't the contract or the interest rate. It's control over your behavior. This is the psychological manipulation layer, where banks and billionaires use AI, neuroscience, and surveillance algorithms to enslave not just your money, but your decisions. Every time you swipe a credit card, click accept, or make a purchase, you leave a trace. That trace becomes data. And in today's surveillance economy, data is gold. Corporations don't just track what you buy, they map how you think. They record when you shop, how you hesitate, what stresses you into spending, and what comforts push you to swipe again. Then they feed that information into machine learning algorithms that learn one terrifying skill: how to predict and manipulate your behavior. At the heart of it all is engineered addiction. Neuroscience has shown that the promise of a reward releases dopamine, a powerful chemical that drives craving. Credit card companies exploit this biological truth. Every point you earn, every mile you collect, every congratulations you've unlocked a new perk notification is designed to fire the same circuits that casinos use to keep gamblers trapped at slot machines. This is not convenience. This is chemical warfare against your brain, and AI makes it worse. Algorithms don't just observe. They test, they analyze, they adapt. If you resist one tactic, they'll deploy another. Maybe cashback perks won't tempt you, so they'll flash luxury illusions and status-driven offers instead. Maybe you're cautious, so they'll bait you with risk-free trial cards or 0% balance transfers. Each offer is a psychological experiment, and you're the test subject. What looks like freedom of choice is really algorithmic manipulation, fine-tuned to your weaknesses. The surveillance runs deeper than most can imagine. Corporations harvest your financial data, but they don't stop there. They buy third-party information from the dark web of data brokers. Your browsing history, your social media activity, even your healthcare records. Everything you've ever revealed online can be stitched together into a predictive profile. These profiles don't just know what you bought. They know what you will buy, when you will buy it, and how much pressure it takes before you break. Imagine this scenario. A young couple faces rising rent and groceries inflated beyond control. Right then, they receive a special credit card offer promising cash back on household essentials. It feels like a lifeline. But in reality, it's a trap, triggered by algorithms that detected their stress and exploited it. Or picture a family crushed by medical bills, suddenly bombarded with ads for healthcare rewards cards. That's not coincidence. That's precision targeting, turning a health crisis into another profit stream. This is why the system is so effective. It doesn't just wait for you to fall into debt. It manufactures the fall. It creates urgency, anxiety, and fear, then sells you the illusion of relief through another credit product. It's a cycle of engineered addiction, backed by AI manipulation, enforced by a surveillance economy that never sleeps. The most chilling part, you rarely notice it happening. You believe you're making rational choices, but those choices were nudged into place by corporate strategies you never saw. It's not free will. It's programmed will. And every time you comply, the machine grows stronger. Every swipe teaches the algorithm how to control you more efficiently. Every purchase is another signal fed into the system that enslaves you. This is the invisible trap. The credit card system doesn't just control your money, it controls your mind. And if you don't see through the manipulation, you're not just a customer, you're a captive. But there's one final forbidden truth, a hidden key that could break the chains before it's too late. Now you've seen it all. The carefully engineered debt machine, the rewards hoax that seduces you with false perks, the prestige illusion that weaponizes status, the fine print conspiracy that buries your future in legal traps, the systemic collapse that turns survival itself into a commodity, and the psychological manipulation layer that enslaves your very mind. Each trap more dangerous than the last. Each one designed not to empower you, but to extract wealth, control behavior, and reduce your freedom. G2. Picture is undeniable. This isn't a series of accidents. This isn't just bad luck. This is a system built by banks, insurance giants, corporations, and billionaires. A rigged economy where every path leads back to them. You've been told that credit cards are tools for freedom, but they're chains of financial slavery. You've been told that insurance protects you, but it hides behind loopholes to crush you. You've been told that rewards are gifts, but they're poisons disguised as perks. And all the while, AI algorithms and surveillance economies tighten their grip, turning every purchase into a data point, every hesitation into a prediction, every weakness into a weapon. This is the forbidden truth. Your money is not yours. Your wealth, your healthcare, your survival have been quietly sold to corporations that profit from your collapse. They've engineered poverty into the very structure of the economy. And the longer you play their game, the deeper you fall into the trap. But here's the urgent warning: you are not powerless. Knowledge is your weapon. The moment you recognize the design, you stop being a victim and start becoming a threat to their system. The banks want you ignorant. The corporations want you compliant. The billionaires want you distracted by false prestige while they siphon your future. But you don't have to let them win. The time to act is now, not tomorrow. Not when the next bill arrives. Not when the next healthcare crisis forces you deeper into debt. Now, because every day you delay, the machine extracts more from you. Every day you hesitate, the surveillance economy learns more about you. And every day you ignore the warning, your survival becomes harder to reclaim. This isn't just about money. It's about freedom. It's about your family, your future, your ability to live without chains. If you don't act now, your survival, your wealth, and your freedom will collapse. Not in decades, not in years, but in the very near future. And if you think this exposé was dark, wait until you see what's next. Because the shocking truth about how your digital life is being weaponized against you is even darker, even more dangerous, and even more forbidden than anything you've seen here. The final choice is yours: walk back into the trap, or wake up and fight back.